Hi there, it's Diana Bezdik and Ashley Holland with At Properties. Ashley,
Hello.
and then my favorite attorney, Janila Slajewski.
Hey, everybody.
So we were just actually talking, Ashley and I, because a lot of our buyers and sellers are asking us about virtual closing and how COVID-19 is actually affecting the ability to close. I mean, how many clients were you talking to, Ashley, let alone just like this week, if they even should be looking because of all of this?
Yeah, quite a few. That's a pretty common question right now. And then they're surprised to hear how many properties are actually closing. It's been a big question and how that's going to get done.
Yeah. And I know, Janilla, you've been dealing with almost all of my clients, and we're handling virtual closings now. And it's just such a new concept, especially here in Illinois, because normally most people would have to be at closings at a minimum, the buyer, if they're getting a mortgage. But how have you, because I know you just actually walked out of a closing, so thank you so much for joining us. So how has it been for you? What is the difference that you are seeing in how the treatment and title companies, do you go to them? What's going on right now? Has it delayed closings at all?
So I have to say, I'm really impressed with our industry and how our industry has really risen to the occasion and accommodated buyers in this market with everything that's been going on. I personally have not had any of my closings delayed yet. I will say lenders are maybe running a little bit behind getting approvals out, but so far, thankfully, I haven't had that cause any delay for any of my closings. And then in terms of the actual physical closing, instead of me being physically present at the title company with my buyers are either at the title company or they're in their car outside of the title company, depending on what their comfort level is of being exposed. And then I have been sending them a Zoom meeting link at the time of the closing. And we simply I share screens and I show them the screen with their loan documents and their closing statement and that sort of thing. And then we just go through it together, just like we would if we were at the closing table. And it's, it's not ideal because I do love the social aspect of the closing and being there with my clients, as you do too, I'm sure. But, we're making it work and it's been going just fine. So.
And I know, Ashley, you were asking me earlier too, that like how, if my lenders are allowing to even have buyers just do the power of attorney instead of showing up even in the car outside of the title company. What were you saying again?
So I've just heard two versions of it. If it's a cash closing, I have heard that you can close 100% virtually, or the second option being that all the documents are sent to you prior to the closing. You e-sign what you can, and then a final wet signature at the end. Is that kind of correct what you're seeing?
Yeah, a lot of the lenders are expediting most of the closing documents, and then the only things that are required to be signed at closing are documents that would require a notary. So there's a lot of stuff that they're having the borrowers pre-sign with DocuSign, like you said, and then at the actual closing, it's limited to documents that require a notary signature. We can do power of attorney in some cases, and if the buyer is paying cash, we can always do a power of attorney close. And then really no one has to be physically present for the closing at all.
And then in regards to funding, it's just everything's just being like wired as they were before. I know sometimes under $50,000 in the state of Illinois, people could bring a cashier's check. But in this case scenario, everything just has to be wired, which is totally safer in my opinion anyway. But what you've been experiencing as well?
Yeah, I haven't had actually that issue come up where somebody wanted to bring a cashier's check, but certainly I think the title company, you're correct that the title company would encourage them to send a wire instead because it just cuts down on the need for like that one additional contact. But yeah, otherwise sending wires is all business as usual in terms of, the precautions that we take. You always want to call to verbally verify the wire instructions before you send them if you receive them over an email. There's certainly an increase of fraud whenever there are troubling circumstances outside. So we have seen some increased fraud situations. You just have to be extra diligent when sending those wire transfers. And the other thing that's nice too, that the title companies are doing is if your buyer, we always recommend that the buyer wire in additional funds a little bit, maybe $500 to more than they need for their closing, just in case something changes at the last minute. And the title companies have been really good about overnighting those overage checks and also overnighting all of the checks to the real estate brokers and the attorneys, just to, again, minimize the contact, minimize people waiting around at the closing to get their proceeds checked, rather than just signing the documents and going home.
Yeah. And then I know, so when buyers are buying, especially, there's like typically, Ashley, you and I both know we like to celebrate the victory with our clients. We can't do that right now, let alone we can't actually hand them the keys. All of us are like on Zoom, like right now, trying to figure out how to interact. And I could like high five you here, but it's like, how do we break out the bubbly, or how do we get you the keys? You came up with a really good idea too, right? In
Yeah,
regards to,
Yeah,
Mhm.
regarding keys, so I have a closing. I'm in the situation now on May 1st. The buyer had asked that question because under normal circumstances, I would be at the closing and I would hand the keys. I can't do that right now. So with my seller's permission, I'm going to put a lockbox on the door. Once I get confirmation that the closing has completed, then I will give the buyer the code to get into that lockbox and just retrieve it, a day or two after closing.
yeah. No, because we definitely want to make sure that the keys get to the right person and they're able to celebrate. And, Ashley and I always come up with creative ways to help our clients celebrate. So when you do close with us, there will be a celebration, but
Yeah.
it's TBD into how we're going to celebrate, because we do want to be creative for all of our clients, because all of our clients are so different too, and the things that they enjoy and all of that.